Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. I really don't know where to begin when describing what's going on with this government. Words absolutely fail me. But you have today the announcement that basically in excess of 1 million people are going to lose their disabled money, their sickness money, and so forth, all the PIP stuff, because of the desperate need of this government to impose misery on people. They say there's a black hole, but there can't be a black hole. They keep giving money away. If there was a black hole, they wouldn't be doing that. That would be crazy, right? So there obviously isn't a black hole. They just want misery. It's the only explanation. And so they're cutting this money to all these people, many of whom deserve it. Now, sure, the malingerers and the fraudsters, they can go boil their heads. I don't care about them. But caught up in all this are genuine people in genuine need. And what the government is saying is, oh, well, you can go out there and get a job. Well, that's problematic because the government have their own site. They actually have a job site, and it's called Disabled Confident. And that's for companies that are confident around disabled people. They don't have a problem. They will make allowances where possible, etc. And, you can go on there and you say, oh, okay, yeah, let's have a look and see how many jobs there are. And across the whole country, there is 137 jobs on that website. I bet you thought I was going to say 137,000. No, there's 137. And part-time ones, which may be the most suitable, there's 8. They're dumping 1 million people and say, go get a job. And there's 137 jobs. Yeah, not entirely sure this is going to work. Now, that's just what they call on the job, on the disabled confidence thing. Now, there's many people out there that would willingly hire a disabled person, but can't. And the reason they can't is the job may not be suitable for a disabled person. For example, lifeguard couldn't really have someone who's disabled or blind, couldn't swim, that kind of thing. So it's an unsuitable job. There's others that would say, yes, we'd have them, unfortunately, in order to accommodate that particular disability, would require more alterations to our building or our access and things like that than we can afford. We're only a small company, we can't afford it. And so it tends to be the bigger companies that have to, I suppose, soak up the shortfall, as it were. By no means, I don't mean to belittle disabled people by using that term, but small companies basically are very, very, difficult for them to deal with it. And the government's doing nothing. It's not encouraging the larger companies. It's not giving them tax breaks or anything like that. And so what's happening? These people are just being dumped. People are going to end their own lives over this. Or they're going to be destitute. It's going to be miserable and poverty-stricken. Not really in existence anymore. And they're doing it to what? Make a point. It's funny how they've got billions to go and spend on a war that Keir Starmer is desperate for, but can't fund this. And then go and get a job. Well, here's another thing. Across the whole of the country at the moment, there are less than 800,000 vacancies. But again, not a lot of them can be filled by, normal people, let alone disabled people. Normal people aren't filling them because that's why there's 800,000 vacancies. But there's way more than 800,000 people unemployed. What's significantly more damaging, though, is what's coming down the line. And that's Angela Rayner and her genius idea of making it almost impossible for companies to hire, especially young people. She's going to hand all this power to unions and remove powers from employers and then say, hey, go and employ someone then. And they'll go, no. They can't afford it, for one thing, thanks to Rachel Reeves shoving the national insurance up. But the rights, the day one rights that is going to be imposed on workers, at the expense of employers, means that they're very, very loath to hire anyone now. Why should they take someone on and give them full rights on day one? And why should they be forced into accepting unions and rule by unions and things like this? So what's going to happen? Well, for those who can, they'll just shut up shop and leave. Okay, lads, sorry about this, but, I don't know how many of you voted Labour, but whoever did, just fired all of you. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to say, I'm firing you because of Labour. People voted Labour in. I can't do this anymore. You're all unemployed. Blame Labour, not me. And go. And people will. They will. They'll just do this and go. There'll be those that will try and stay, but they're not going to hire a kid, are they? Oh, there you are. Never done a day's work, but I'm going to give you full same rights as everyone who's been here for 30 years. Yeah, don't think so. Oh, you can't pay them any less because, that's bigoted, isn't it? Oh. So, it's just weird, isn't it? And then to give the unions even more power is just lunacy. The train drivers are going on a 56-day strike now. How much money do they want? Actually, this one's not over money. It must be said it's over a man was fired. But even so, you've paid them off. And now they're going on strike again. And I've said it before in a previous video. If you keep paying the Danegeld, you never get rid of the Dane. And that's where we're at with this. It is absolute bollockry of the highest order. Do these people not talk to each other in cabinet? Do they not sit there and think, right, we need to find jobs for all these people, and you're busy destroying jobs? What can we possibly do? Your policy is destructive. Your policy is destructive. My policy is destructive, but they're all destructive in different ways. It's like the coming together of a triumvirate of destruction. Look how much malice we can cause, eh? Because that's what these people are. They're filled with malice. It's all deliberate. This can't be accidental. To get one policy that badly wrong would be accidental. 2 is coincidence. 3 is enemy action. And I think that's what we're dealing with. We've got a government working directly against the interests of this people. What do you do? Vote them out if you're allowed. If we're allowed another vote, vote them out. Shouldn't have voted them in the first place. Let me know what you think. Thanks very much. Bye.